Welcome back. Film critic Josh Bell joins us now. There are some neat film events to look forward to in the new year. Josh, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Good to be back.
Great to have you. Great to have you.
Yeah, and you know, New Year's is not, I don't know if people go to the movies on New Year's Eve, but looking ahead to after New Year's, maybe you're recovering, you're looking for some movie stuff to see. There's some interesting stuff coming up later in the week. Starting
with a film festival that is civil rights themed.
Yeah, this is a yearly event over at the West Las Vegas Library, the Civil Rights Film Festival. So it's not a big festival, it's just a couple of showings, but all themed with African American Heritage Month, which is coming up. There's the documentary Alice Walker, Beauty and Truth, which is about author Alice Walker, writer of The Color Purple, as well as a documentary called Don't Tell Anyone about activist Angie Rivera. And they usually have some guest speakers as well at this event, so it's a full afternoon starting at noon on January 5th over at the Las Vegas Library.
Awesome. I would love to see the Alice Walker one.
Yeah.
She's just such an interesting person.
She's been in the news recently, actually, so I don't know if this tackles any of that. It's a PBS documentary, I believe, that they're showing. But yeah, it's had quite a life, yes.
Okay, yes, quite a life indeed. All right, moving on to Mob Month.
Yes, is another library thing, and I think throughout January they were going to have some mob-themed programming at the Clark County Library, and they're starting this off with the comedy The Crew, which I have actually not seen, but it's kind of an oddball cast of mob actors. Burt Reynolds, Richard Dreyfuss, Dan Hedaya, and Seymour Cassell in this comedy as retired mobsters going in for one last job. So, a bit of a lighter thing for mob.
I was going to say, but kind of a good cast there.
Yeah, it's quite a cast for an
offbeat
offbeat mob film, and interesting way to kick off Mob Month there at the library.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to see a mob movie as a comedy too. I mean, I feel like there are so many dramas,
right, there was,
but
yeah, there was a trend, I think, around this time with like Analyze This and that kind of stuff for these mob comedies.
That's true.
So that's also January 5th at 2 at the Clark County Library.
Awesome. Okay, and then moving on to a popular animated Japanese series, which it must be popular to some people, but I don't know anything about it.
You know,
Mob Psycho 100.
I'm not super familiar with this one as well, but I just think it's cool that they show these Japanese animes in theaters. Yeah, it's Mob Psycho 100, and this is actually showing at the same time that it's going to be premiering in Japan, or I think even a few days earlier. So this is the second season of this series. They're going to show a recap of the first season as well as the season premiere. So I think people who are big anime fans are very excited about this. People like you and I are kind of maybe a little baffled.
Yeah.
But it's cool that they're catering to these fans, and this is going to be at theaters all around town. Again, January 5th. This is at 12:55 in the afternoon, and people can get excited for the new season of this show.
I was going to say, it may be an opportunity for some people like us who don't know maybe a ton
right,
about
learn
anime
a bit.
To get into
right, and they will be recapping the previous season, so you can start fresh with that.
I love that. I love that. Okay, good opportunity there. Moving on to a local troupe doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, this is a monthly event from Frankie's Favorite Obsession, is the Rocky Horror Troupe that does the Shadowcast performance every month with the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which of course is always fun. You get people in costume, you get audience participation, the lines, and throwing things at the screen, and it's a vintage experience, of course. They do that every month at the Tropicana Cinemas, and that's going to be on, again, the 5th is a big day, 10 p.m. in the evening. Go and participate with Frankie's Favorite Obsession.
You know, as much as I've heard about the Rocky Horror Picture Show over the years, I've never seen
I mean,
rendition of it.
If you're going to see it, you want to see it this way. It's honestly, it's not a great movie, but it's a fun experience.
Nothing do I love more, Josh, than your honesty.
I mean,
it's
true. You don't want to watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show at home. You want to go and have the full experience of it, and that's what you can do. Yeah, well, you throw stuff at the screen. They're not going to throw anything at you. Don't worry, nothing will be thrown at you.
Good.
Yeah,
that's great. And moving on finally to a classic sci-fi that I've never seen, but it's coming back to theaters, right?
Oh
Aliens?
my God, yeah. Okay, you have to see Aliens.
Okay.
Yes, James Cameron's sci-fi horror with Sigourney Weaver, the second, and some say best movie in the Alien series. I actually prefer the first one a little more, but this one is great. It's action-packed, great cast, Michael Biehn, Bill Paxton. Scary and intense and action-filled. That's going to be on the 6th and the 9th at 2 and 7 p.m. at the Galaxy Cannery, part of their Flashback Cinema series. Do see that in theater.
Okay, sci-fi wouldn't get me, but that cast does.
There you go.
And your suggestion, of course.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yes. Josh, thank you so much for being here, and stay with us. We have weather coming up after the break.